that and let it go. So on the count of three, I'm going to lead us into a 3-count inhale collectively. We're going to hold for 3, and then we're going to exhale on the 3 count. We're going to do that a couple of times, okay? Eyes closed. We're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. And as you're inhaling, remind yourself that there's a miracle there because there's breath there. Exhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do one more round of that. And I want you to dig really deep, deep belly breath. And I ask you to call on the ancestors to guide us in this next moment and in our next step. Because as they said before, we are surrounded by evil forces. And we're going to need all the spiritual strength that we need to continue to fight for justice. So on the count of 3, collectively deep inhale, hold for 3, and then release for 3. You ready? This is our final breath together. Collectively inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3. And a deep exhale on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ashe. All right, thank you, sister. Thank you.
At this point, as my husband Jubilee would say, she is not a soldier out here. She's a sergeant out here in these streets. This is Sister Molly Bell. She has been out here before many of us, before most of us were born. She's a beautiful, beautiful spirit that we adore, respected all over. And she's going to open us up with a prayer. This is I consider her like a village mother. This is Sister Molly Bell. Please show some love. Sister Molly Bell.
I will be right
My
back.
name is Molly Bell. I'm straight out of college. What we're here today is to talk about and to do it. This is not my time to speak. This is my time to say a word of prayer. So we begin by saying, anybody here have a relationship with somebody higher than yourself? Amen. All right. Now, I happen to have my relationship with God, Jesus the Christ. Some of you call him provider. Some of you call him I am. Some of you call him different names other than this. You might call him Yahweh. You might call him the lawyer in the courtroom, the doctor in the hospital. You might call him the comforter when I need comforting. Whatever you call him, we're going to do that in that name. First of all, I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes. I'm just going to ask you to be mindful that God is. God is the joy of our lives, the strength of our lives. God has said no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Yes, the scripture says, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power. Say power. But of love. And a sound mind. And a sound mind. So we out here to give God some praise, some honor, and the glory. Because everything we ask him for is going to be done. First of all, in the name of Jesus, as we come to you, first of all, we begin with praise. We thank you for waking us up this morning. Many of us woke up, looked in the mirror, and said, I recognize myself. And then you knew you were clothed in your right mind. We thank you for that. We give you praise. And Lord, we ask him just on the natural side. As we were doing our breathing, many of you were thinking about the fires. The planet is angry. The planet is upset. They don't listen to science. They act like science and God can't be together. Science is God. Hallelujah. So we need to change our climate. We need to do some different things. And so today, we're going to say, stop killing black men. Stop killing black men. Stop killing black men. This is our request to you, Lord. We're asking that. And we're asking the sheriff department. Touch them, the Lord, to let them know that all of them aren't bad. All of them are not on the wrong side. But one too many is too many. One too many is too many, Lord. So we're asking you to use your strength through us, the people. For you said, once as a child is born, a son is given, his name shall be called Wonderful, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. We are his government, and we are going to do this. So in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahweh, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of Allah, in all the names that we call you by, we say let this day be the day that you plan for us. The day that we going to make it happen, because today is another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad with it. Have your prayer for this. So this white line has to move because it's blocking the bus.
Right hander.
Boom. Okay. Okay. So 2 years ago,
Okay.
February 4th, 2018, 16-year-old Anthony Weber was murdered by sheriffs. 16 years old. He was a father, that's right, he was a father of a 9-month-old. And you have to think about that. This child is 4 years old. By the time that Anthony was 4 years old, he had lived out a quarter of his life because of these sheriffs. This girl is 7 years old. Because of the sheriffs, when Anthony Weber was 7 years old, he would only have 9 more years left of life because of these sheriffs. We have every right to be out here demanding answers and demanding accountability and demanding prosecution. Anthony Weber was a brilliant young man. He was loved. He was adored and loved. He had a beautiful, huge, just a beautiful family. I mean, a huge, big family, a rainbow tribe. And as they say, Anthony was the glue. Okay? The sheriff kept changing their story. One moment it was that they saw him with a gun. When they couldn't produce a gun, he must have handed it to somebody in the crowd. And when that didn't stick, he must have tossed it somewhere. And when you know when a person keeps changing their story, what does that mean? And as someone said, only in America can a black boy go on trial for his own murder. You understand? 16 years old. So I want y'all to please give your love to my sister, Miss Demetra Johnson, his mother, the woman who made him, and put him out here and raised him. Okay. I can tell you right now, AJ is smiling down on us right now. He would love this. He was all about bringing people together. I was born and raised in this community, so I don't care what the sheriff says or who he trots up there to say you're not welcome. You're 100% welcome. We called my son AJ. We never called him Anthony. He was AJ to us. But he was 16 years old, unarmed, shot 16 times. The sheriff gave an interview the other day, and I heard a reporter ask him, what he going to do about all these officers involved in the shooting? He said he don't see a problem. It's been the same year after year. So what that told me, he don't give a damn about my son. He
don't give a damn about the Johnson. He don't give a damn about Ryan Twyman or Andres Guardado. Yeah. It's too many of us to name. Yeah. But he don't care. So we have to come together and we have to take, starting with him, and own up Jackie Lacey, the president, and all of them. So again, I'm standing out here with the John Kinsey family. He's a friend of the family as well. So he's my family too. Thank you.
This is Demetra Johnson, the mother of A.J. Weber.
Thank you.
Now, Sheriff Weber, he says that we are outside agitators, that we do not belong in this community, and that we are not welcome here, and that we are the cause of the problem.
Where's he live?
Anthony Weber was killed on 107th Street in Budlong by these sheriffs out of South LA Station, 2 blocks away from where they killed DJ.
See where my mama is.
Who is the outside agitator? Who is the problem in this community? The sheriff! Who is the terrorist? The sheriff! If you live in Los Angeles County, the county of Los Angeles, if you live in Los Angeles County, raise your hand.
The blue one, and he gave this one to us.
Where is the jurisdiction of the Los Angeles sheriffs?
LA County.
If you live in the county of Los Angeles, if you work here, you are a stakeholder in this county. And our job now as stakeholders is to take that stake and drive it through the heart of Sheriff Villanueva. Sheriff Villanueva says we are not welcome here, that we came from the outside. Where does his deputies come from? We want the names, the addresses, the identification of the deputies that killed John Kinsey today. And we're not going to stop there. We want the name and the address of every deputy in that department that works in this county. We want to know where their children go to school. We want to know where their mothers do their grocery shopping. We want to know where their grandmothers go to church. We want the jacket on every one of these deputies. We want to know what gang they belong to. We want to see the tattoos. We want control of this department. The community that lives in this neighborhood needs to have control and authority over the sheriff's deputies that live and operate and terrorize this community. We have a number of organizations that are here today. We're going to hear representatives from each of them. This is a collaborative effort. This is a coalition effort. This is not a one organization program. Our first organization, well, I'm going to call up TT from Caravan for Justice.
Hey, y'all, how you doing? Y'all know about us, Caravan for Justice? Out here fighting for our people in the streets. We take it all the way to Orange County and back. Because everybody, everywhere, there's a lot of racism. But I'm going to ask you something today. I'm going to tell you there's 2 phases to this. One phase is us being out here now. But the other phase is us making sure we're calling the right people, voting for the right people, making sure we know the right propositions on the ballot, making sure that you're bugging these motherfuckers. When you leave here, you should be calling them, filing complaints, asking for justice, inundating their phone lines. Bug them. And I know a lot of you, it's hard for you to come out here sometimes, but I need you to understand this. I need you to take time for this revolution like you take
Today's the day that we put a stop to the Stockholm Syndrome the police department and sheriff department has been creating in our communities. Today is the day that we stand together and unite. Through diversity, through communication, and through unity, we can overcome any obstacle. This coalition, joining many coalitions together, is indication that if we take part in each other's fight, we can win this battle and make the world anew. Thank you guys for each coming out today. Remember, follow Ionic Pro Caravan for Justice on Instagram and Facebook. And hey, we need support. We need you guys every day because it's more than just a protest. It's making policy. It's the day-to-day, the behind-the-scenes, the phone calls, the budget reading, and everything, guys. We all have to be in it together. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, get ready. This is a very, very special person to me and a very, very special person to John Kazee. The person that was there with him from day one to the bottom, as we say, from the top to the bottom, depending on where you're close to where you're from the beginning to the end. I'm going to go ahead and give the mic to Silver.
I want to thank everybody for coming out for my cousin, John Kazee, and I just want to keep it going until we get justice and the police department, they get fired, and they don't need to be in the police department. Come on. And that's it, that's all. Thanks y'all, everybody. Rest in peace, John Kazee and the rest of all. Love y'all.
At this point, I want to bring up I'm gonna call him a brother with a very long history of struggle. One of the original founding members of the Brown Berets, okay? There for the Chicano moratorium, has been out here in this struggle for decades. In a show of black and brown unity, you know what I'm saying? So from Centro CSO, and he has been holding it down as far as those sheriffs on the east side. So from Central CSO, I want you guys to please give a warm welcome from Mr. Carlos Montes.
Thank you. Say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Thank you very much. I love it out here. The unity and the solidarity, black and brown, young people, white folks. We're unity, right? Yeah, you're right. I'm from East LA. So I'll tell you a little secret. When I was 6 years old, my family came from Mexico. Yeah, you're right. I'm Mexican. I lived in South LA. I lived in the Florence area, right? And a lot of the black families were fleeing the racism in Louisiana and the South. And my family, we were fleeing the poverty in Mexico. And we lived together and united together to fight for a better life. But also, as a little Mexican kid, I faced the racism, the police abuse, the brutality against black and brown young men. We eventually, of course, moved to East LA. Anybody from East Los here? I'm proud to say that I lived in the best of both worlds, South LA and East LA. Sorry about you folks that live in the valley, right? West LA or whatever, but we're here in unity, right? And yeah, growing up in East LA, we got brutalized, we got beat up. I've been in the county jail many times. I've been beat up in the county jail. We got arrested, right, for protesting against police abuse. But we always had the unity and the backing of the Black Liberation Movement. Whether it was the Black Panther Party, the NAACP, they always supported the Mexicans. But I'll put it out now, I'm saying Mexican, right? But I'm going to put you out there, we're really Chicano. We're not Latinx. We're not Spanish, and we ain't white. Even though I'm a little light, you know. We're down with the brown. We're down with the black folks. But in East LA, we got the same animal, the sheriff, on the back of our necks. Yeah. The sheriffs that killed Paul Rea, Anthony Vargas, shot him in the back. Anthony Vargas. They came up, said there was a robbery at the local gas station, at the local 7-Eleven by the project. They came up on him, you know, shot him in the back, shot him in the head, and they said, oh, we had the wrong guy. the wrong suspect. I'm sorry. Bullshit, you're sorry. Right? They killed Paul Rea in the back. They killed Edwin Rodriguez. I could go on and on and on. The sheriff in East LA are an occupying force. They think they own East LA. They drive around and act like it. They stop you, harass you with no probable cause, no crime. So, that's right. You know, they're killing us, so we're united. We protested at the East LA Sheriff's a bunch of times, and they always come out fully armed. But we have the moms, you know, Lisa Vargas, the mom of Anthony Vargas, the family, all the families get up in front of them and yell at them and denounce them for being asesinos. Asesinos, Spanish for murderers. Let's yell at them one time. Let's see. Asesinos!
Asesinos! Asesinos! Asesinos!
They know, you know, because unfortunately, nowadays, a lot of those deputy sheriffs are brown and black. Which is bad, right? They're brainwashed, right? But let me talk that the sheriff, I'm going to put it out, I've already put it out publicly. There's a lot of sheriffs in East LA that get traumatized and abused by their own people, right? And they ended up getting traumatized and they live in East LA. Sometimes they abuse the family, domestic violence. So then the family calls the cops and the sheriffs come and beat up their own cops, right? Then they fire them, they put charges on them, and then they start turning against them. So I got it from reliable sources. Alex Villanueva worked at the East LA Sheriff's Station years ago. You can look it up, his career. He joined the Banditos gang in East LA. So I'm putting it out. I want him to publicly deny it. He's got the guts to it. I doubt he does. He is a member of the Banditos. The Banditos is the gang in East LA that has terrorized, killed, and brutalized our families for years. It is a gang. You all know about all the gangs now, right? Yeah. All the LA Times. But, you know, and I remember back in the 90s fighting against the Vikings gang in Linwood. We've been at this thing a long time. We're going to keep fighting the Linwood Vikings gang with murdering, killing people. They had all these investigations, the reform and everything, right? And we're still at it. But Alex Villanueva, fuck Alex Villanueva.
Fuck Alex Villanueva.
Alex Villanueva.
Fuck Alex Villanueva.
Fucking sheriff.
Fuck the sheriff.
They're an occupying force, and we're going to fight and unite. And we support the demand for community control of the police. We need that power, right? But you know what? Coming from the 60s, learning from, I'm so old. I'm going to tell you another little thing. I'm so old that I was in Cuba in 1996. Who do you think I met over there? You don't believe it, but I met her. That's right. That's right. I met Asada. She's cool. She's humble. She's beautiful. You know. And but back on the sheriff's issue. So we gotta expose this guy. No. Because I've been fighting the sheriff killing for years, right? Community control of the police. But what I was going to put out is political power. Black folks, black people. I demand black power. Come on. Let's do it. Are y'all for black power? Because if black people are free and have power, we'll all be free. If black people are free, we'll all be free. You're right, I support the revolution in this country. We got to build a revolution. So you all got to unite. You got to organize. And like the sister said, you all got to vote. But we got to join organizations. Join community organizations. Join the community coalition. Join BLM. Join the union. Join revolutionary organizations that support the liberation of black folks and build a revolution. Right? We need a revolution in this country. So the sheriff, you know, we gotta unite and jump on this guy, Alex Villanueva, because now he's going rogue on us. He's even attacking the board of supervisors. He called Hilda Solis a Malinche. You know what a Malinche is? Supposedly the Malinche was a woman, the Indian woman who was a traitor to the indigenous Aztec people, joined what's his name, Cortez, and conquered the native people, right? So for him to call, you know, that's what he is. He's a traitor. He is a traitor. His people, his father is Puerto Rican, and his mom is white. So we got to get him out, but we got to organize and pressure to get him out. We got to put these sheriffs under control. The unity of Chicanos, of black, white, every Asian, Native people together, poor working people. We can build a movement, create a revolution in this country. It may not be overnight. You know, back in the 60s, working with the Black Panther Party and the Brown Berets, we thought the revolution was coming in a couple of years. We didn't think we'd live beyond 30 years old. And Elridge Cleaver told us, don't trust anybody over 30 years old. And all of a sudden, we were 34 years old. Shit, we got old. But we're here and committed to the revolution, to building a community organization to demand community control of the police. With Villanueva, stop the police killing, unite and fight. So, muchas gracias. Quería hablar en español, pero todos son bilingües aquí, ¿verdad? So let's continue the fight. Thank you very much.
Give me a B. Give me a L.
I got your L, I got your L.
Give me a M.
I got your M, I got your L.
So what does that mean?
Black Lives Matter.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter.
I can't hear you.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Hey, let's just give a little bit of context as far as black folks. I saw a picture last night on Facebook going around, and I just had to marvel. And it was a tall black man, and he was standing beside a just pile of slop on the ground. And it was talking about how in the not so distant days where black folks were real estate property in this country, the people in power would eat the best and most delicious and nurturing parts of the animal and then leave the slop on the ground for black folks, for those who were chattel slaves and real estate property to sift through and try to make food from. They fed black folks like dogs. They treated black folks in this country like dogs. When I say like dogs, I don't mean like with the respect, because they love dogs, right? They love dogs. I hate to say they fed black folks, because it's not like we can't go get food and hunt food ourselves, but they were in power over us, right? I mean, black folks were a literal factory system, like literal cattle, right? And so you have to start from that point when you talk about how black folks are treated. When you're talking about Black Lives Matter, you have to understand that black folks, we are nothing but a few generations out of having people throw slop on the ground and have us sift through it to feed our children from it. So when they can ride into this neighborhood and say that there was a bicycle code violation, and shoot him like an animal, or ride up on AJ with this bullshit story, he fit the description, and kill him and keep the medics and EMT away so that they could not save him. We have to start with the foundational context of that they see black folks as less than animals in this country. And we can't talk about Black Lives Matter until we understand that to these folks, black people are less than animals. And that's why they kill us like animals. You know what I mean? So I just want y'all to keep that in context. I know we're in this moment, but goddamn it, we come a long way. And didn't nobody give it to us. We fought for that. We fought for that. Harriet Tubman was a spy for the Union Army. Frederick Douglass had to counsel Abraham Lincoln and be like, yo, if you don't let enslaved folks fight, you're gonna lose this. So all these patriots trying to come down on folks, demonstrating and demanding their human rights, black folks are the ones who got this damn country. Black folks are the reason that the United States won. Black folks fighting are the reason that there is the United States of America. They beat the Confederacy. So you have to realize what is happening in this moment. When Trump says he's going to make America great again, what you mean what they talking about. Put y'all back in chains, right? But I'm an 80s baby, right? We the post-Tupac generation. Everybody say, fuck out of here. Right? We gonna stand together and united because we not going back in time. I want every fucking body out here.
That's fucking right.
Take your ass to them polls and vote to defeat Donald Trump. Okay? Don't ask what that has to do with Los Angeles County. It has everything to do with it. When Donald Trump is funding Joe Collins and Robert Foster to come here and collaborate with the sheriffs and say, we will be there to force them. We will meet them with force. You understand? It's Trump dollars that they are using to say, we finna smash on these demonstrators. They ain't finna smash on shit.
That's fucking right. Fucking fact. Fucking fact right there. Fact.
And I want y'all to know too, they speak the language of violence so fluently that they have to demonize us, who can kill any damn body. We ain't out here killing folks, but they gotta demonize us. And I'm telling you, just like you see bubbles in the air, just like you see my baby running around here on skates, and you see my other baby with the rainbow hair, that's how we came out last week in the spirit of Dijon Kizzy. With peace and love, and they still tear gassed us. And they still treated us like dogs. And they still were violent with us. So do not think that, we come out here in the spirit of peace. We're not going to throw no bottles. We're not going to give them a reason. But I'm telling you, don't believe the narrative. They're going to demonize us anyway. And that's why.
Yeah, I'm an outside agitator and you can too. Okay? There has been a slow genocide going on. Murder and mass incarceration for years. But we are at a point where we could be facing a leap to a fast genocide. Donald Trump is a genocidal racist. If you think that's hype, if you think it's just talk, I encourage you to go to revcom.us and look at Bob Avakian's series, Donald Trump, Genocidal Racist. Look at how he talked about the Central Park Five. Calling for them to be put to death. Teenagers, underage, who were falsely accused. Who till this day, Donald Trump says they must have done something to deserve being locked away and put to death. These people are genocidal racists. And if they are allowed to stay in power, these gangs that are inside the sheriff's department won't just be under a secret underground organization. They will become more like how the whole society is run and organized. And we right now need to be getting organized just as furiously, with just as much determination, with just as much sense of the stakes involved as the people who are mobilizing to impose a fascist America. That means being in the streets day after day, week after week, making all kinds of art that demands an end to the fascist America and a defeat for Trump. But it also means that some of us have to start networking and talking now about how are we going to defend the people and the rights of the people that are increasingly coming under attack. These neighborhoods that are under siege need to go from places of being brutally repressed to fascist-free zones where people are too organized and too united to be picked off and picked apart. And where people don't just see it as some people over there who are facing this, but see everybody who comes under attack this way as our people. I don't care if you're black, brown, white, red, green, purple, I don't care. If you're a human being with an ounce of humanity, this is your fight. If you're fighting for the immigrant children, if you're fighting for black lives, if you're fighting for democratic rights, or if you're fighting for a revolution to get rid of America and everything it stands for, we all have to come together right now, or else we will be forced to accept a fascist America. And just yesterday was 9/11, which was an anniversary not just of towers coming down in New York, but of Pinochet in Chile. Here is an example of what happens when a fascist comes to power. It wasn't just the same old oppression that people had faced in Chile for decades. People were driven
the country. People who fought for justice and all their kinds of rights were driven out of the country, driven underground, forced to find refuge. This is what Donald Trump's America will look like if we don't defeat this and get organized now. We cannot be planning for some future where we lose. We have to be planning now for how we win. And now finally I want to say, we in the Revolution Club, while we're uniting with everybody in this struggle now, we are getting organized for a time when we can overthrow this whole damn system. Bob Avakian has written a constitution to replace the American Constitution, not fix it up or make it better. Our police would be trained to die themselves and to take a bullet before they would ever murder one of the masses of people, because that's what it means to serve and protect. So if you want to be part of fighting to get to that different world, we need to unite, but we also need to get organized for an actual revolution. Come see me and all those in these Revolution Nothing Less shirts, and let's go. Let's get organized.
Next, we're going to have Raul for the Latino Coalition of Los Angeles.
Ahora está mi gente. Ahora sí, go on. My name's Raul Claros, and I'm the founder of the Latino Coalition of Los Angeles. That was started 11 years ago because we weren't black enough, we weren't Mexican enough, we weren't Chicano enough. We're Central American leaders that have black, brown, and white colored people in our country. Where we come from a struggle that we've been getting our ass beat since the 80s and the 90s for being refugees. Coming from a fucked up system in a whole different part of the world. And then we share spaces with our indigenous people whose lands were robbed that we sit in and stand in today. With different dialects, different languages, because we're all different shades and colors and sizes and ages. And we had a vision that we wanted to build off of the best practices and successes from the trailblazers in our previous generations, but we wanted to learn from their mistakes. And for that, I want to start off by thanking God, number one, for giving us this day. Number two, I want to thank all these youngsters. Let's give it up for the new generation. The generation that has capitalized, that has mobilized, that has grown this movement bigger and larger than any movement, than any one race. My brother got up here and talked about that human race. And there's been a lot of education, even in the brown community, on why Black Lives Matter, because all lives matter. So how inappropriate it is to just say brown lives matter too, or how about all lives matter. So a lot of education, a lot of dialogue, a lot of this sitting down about interracial couples and babies that we've all created, because we're in the greatest country that we call Los Angeles. I'm gonna call this our own country. We have created this. You look at the original creators of the city of Los Angeles, and they look like all of us here. It did not look like that shit behind us right there. That is the biggest cop-out, pun intended, sellouts that we have seen. And many of us have tried to work with them. Today, it's at the sheriff. In Daniel Hernandez's case, in South Central LA, it was LAPD. Where I grew up at in Rampart, where my big homie Alex Sanchez, who you're going to hear from in a moment, from Homies Unidos, what we grew up with, it was a Rampart scandal. They made fucking movies out of it. You want to watch one? Denzel's in it. Check out Training Day. Figure out, connect the dots where that comes from. Unfortunately, this shit ain't a movie. This is real life. And a lot of us have lived it and survived it and have fought for it and have even come to the compromising table, to the negotiation table, where they always ran the budget, where they always ran the politicians. Well, thank you, youngsters, for calling bullshit. Thank you for not accepting the status quo. Thank you for pushing my generation's movement to a whole nother level. Thank you for fighting for our parents and grandparents who have been coming from other countries, whether they've been doing it willingly, fleeing wars, or brought over here in ships, okay, to stolen land. And so we're here to remember all of the families that have been victims of police brutality and death and murder. Let's call it for what it is. These guys are gangbangers with badges. At least the homies that gangbang from the hood claim their hood. We ain't hiding behind no bitch-ass badges. Show your tattoos. Claim the state. Where you from, homie? Let's call a spade for a spade. But the politics and the politrics are done. Just like COVID has taught us there's no going back, so has this revolution. So has this movement, and like LeBron says, so has this lifestyle. Because I might not be black, but let me tell you, I've hurt enough times to lose black family members and black friends, right? And that shit hurts. And we've been to too many of these already, just in this year. And this is God's timing, because if we weren't in a pandemic, we'd be too busy. We'd be working, we'd be at sport events, we'd be distracted. You think this is by coincidence? You think this is by accident? God is with us. God is with us. And we are united. And that is where we won't be divided by any level of law enforcement, distraction, or divider. And with that, I want to call up my big homie, Alex Sanchez. Let's give Bill a big round of applause from Homies Unidos, who has lived this, represents our Central American community. Where's the shot? My Belizean Afro-Central American brother. Come up here, man. This is what our community looks like. Cliff, come over here. Little lighter shade of brown. Okay? This is what we're talking about. Thank you to the white people who provide the white shield. Thank you for that. And what I mean by that, it's a little different reaction when we got our lighter shade of folks in the front. A little less tear gas. A little bit less of an ass whooping. But when white people stand up and start calling the same bullshit that we're calling about our community and for our communities, what can they say? We can all be crazy. And so with that, let's give it up for the big homie Alex Sanchez.
Have a personal relationship. Once again, we have become an acculturated people. We have acculturated so deeply. And we play around sometimes when we use the slurs or the phrases. Sometimes people take offense to them. But we have black and East, black and Chinese. We're together now. We're mixed in.
Oh, you gotta
We have black and brown relations. When I had nowhere to go, when I didn't have any support, Homies and Needles took me in. I'm black. These are my brothers. These are my friends. They helped me. They educated me. They educated me on the laws and how to conduct myself if I get pulled over by the police. What to say, what not to do. They let me come into their home and eat bread with them. These are my brothers. So listen up, everybody. You want to hear some real talk going on today? You're going to get it right now.
As some of the last brothers were saying, that this is by design. What's happening here today is also happening in Central America. These pigs have gone down there and trained the police officers for those countries how to brutalize our communities. They've been doing it. That's why you have thousands upon thousands of unaccompanied minors coming up here, because they're fleeing police brutality in those countries. They're killing them, and there's nobody to speak up on those killings because they label them gang members. They label us gang members, and nobody raises a fist when a gang member is shot down. Right? So, Homie Sunil has taken on that baton to fight back, against those labels, against that type of oppression. Because when they pick us up in our neighborhoods and take us across the block into a rival neighborhood, that's kidnapping and attempted murder. And we don't call it because the homies say it's part of the game. But no, I'm saying that it's not. They've been kidnapping us, killing us. They've taken us to the criminal justice system and lied under oath they're not accountable to lying under oath in a courtroom and have sentenced thousands upon thousands of black and brown, primarily brothers and sisters, to life imprisonment for crimes they did not commit. That's police brutality. So we're calling it for what it is. And we're calling what's going on in Central America right now. And that's why this movement is not isolated. Our movements are all united. Immigrant rights are criminal justice rights. And we gotta fight with it the same way, in the same energy. So when you hear about shit being talked about immigrants, that's what they telling you to speak. That's the white man and the politicians, mostly Republicans, that are telling you what you should feel about me. About immigrant kids that don't speak English. Right? It's their rhetoric that they're trying to bump into our mind. Fear the black man, they tell the immigrants. But through the Black and Brown Alliance for Justice, we're breaking that shit. We're bringing black and brothers together to address those issues. And not only are we going to be out here protesting and letting people know what time it is, but we're also going to be breaking bread together. We are now doing every Thursday, we're doing the black and brown breaking bread food distribution. Hell yeah! We're going into neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, where we're invited to by our street brothers to break some bread in that community. So if you want us to go into your hood, talk to your homies and have them invite us. And we are going to be there providing food for our people. Because we need to start breaking bread with each other, just like you're talking about. It's not enough to come over here and protest and everybody goes into their silos. We need to go and break bread and get to know each other for who we are. Get this black and brown, white, little youngsters together so they know what the hell we are. Right? So now, there is a demand that we have to take on. We have been coming here, protest after protest.
You're lying.
Protest after protest, we've been coming out here. Protest after protest across the city, across the county. And have all kinds of people coming out here. Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn to take it to the ballot box. We cannot do this and not vote. We cannot do this and not register to vote. How many over here are registered to vote? Not even half. Not even half of the people raise their hands. So Homies Unidos right now, through the Black and Brown Alliance for Justice, are raffling 2 Chromebooks if you register. If you register. So that's the reality. We have to take this energy into the ballot box and get enough people around, because that's the only way. We got to get these motherfuckers out. We gotta regain the right to vote for formerly incarcerated people. See, I can't vote. I'm an asylee from El Salvador. If I went back to my country, the law enforcement will execute me. That's what I fled. That's why I came here. And I proved it in the courtroom. That's why I'm here. But they don't want to make me a citizen. So they know that I'll be voting. So I need you to vote for me. I need you to vote for me. So let's do this, people. This is us right here. Peace.
Alex Sanchez, Homies Unidos. Raul Claus, Latino Coalition of Los Angeles. The Black and Brown Alliance for Justice of Los Angeles. This community is united. We are going to defend Westmont. We are going to defend this community. And we're calling for mutual self-defense. If they attack one of your neighbors, that means they attacking all of us. If they attack your family, that means they attacking my family. Working people, poor white people, black people, Mexicans, Central American immigrants, we all have the same enemy. And we all have to stand together. I don't care what kind of music you listen to. I don't care what kind of food you eat, what language you speak, where you came from, or how you got here. We all have the same interest, and we have to unite in the same struggle. This is a disciplined action, and I want to make one announcement. Can I have your attention? If you see somebody with a yellow vest, that's the official security for this action. If somebody in a yellow vest asks you to cooperate and help, please cooperate and take that instruction to support this action. Please do not act individually. This is a collective action. We are not here as a group of individuals with our own agenda. This is discipline, and when we leave, we are leaving in a disciplined and organized fashion to bring this family back to their block. Together. Our next speaker from Black Lives Matter in Pasadena. In Pasadena, they have their own problems with the Pasadena police murdering people. It's the same struggle in Pasadena that it is right here. And we are uniting from neighborhood to neighborhood, from culture to culture, from city to city, and we are going to organize from block to block, street by street, until we have this entire county on lock against these sheriffs, against these police. Our next speaker is Nafisa from Black Lives Matter in Pasadena.
How y'all doing today? I'm so happy to see all you guys out here. It's really beautiful. At the end of the day, like, we're all battling with this situation. On August 15th in Pasadena, the Pasadena police shot down Anthony McClain. Anthony McClain was running from the police officers, and they shot him in his back. After they shot him in his back and we found out he passed away, the police maced my son, 11 years old. They allegedly said that I maced him back. At the end of the day, we have to protect one another. We can't just stand and keep watching what's going on to everybody. At the end of the day, I'm standing strong. At first, I wasn't coming out. I wasn't coming out protesting. I was just like repost. But after I had to witness this situation, I told myself that I had to get out here. I had to be proactive. I had to bring my kids. I had to bring my friends. I had to tell everybody what's going on. Because at the end of the day, in all these cities and all these different states, the police are beating us down. They don't care about us. They don't care if we living, if we breathing. I'm confused to what they're doing. What are they protecting over there? That's what threw me for a loop. And then when I stand here, I see that they got them on the other side too. So what are they protecting? They're supposed to be out here protecting and serving, but they're standing there. They're standing there just looking at us with their big guns. Intimidation. At the end of the day, we have to unite. We have to come together. Like all these different groups came together. This is beautiful. We have to stop being in competition and let's get together and do it together. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to see us together. When we come together, we're stronger. When you come together, you're stronger. You see all these people out here, what can they do to us? They can't do nothing. It's too many people. It's too many people. I can't continue to see this happen to my son. I can't continue to see this happen to my brothers, my sisters, my brown brothers, my black brothers, everybody. I'm tired. I'm tired of waking up in the morning seeing that the police killed another black man or killed another brown man and nothing is being done. When is it going to stop? When are they going to stop killing us? When are they going to stop killing us? I can't keep waking up feeling this way. John Kinsey, come on now. Did they have to kill him? What is the protocol? They could have did something else. They could have called for a negotiator, anything. They didn't have to kill that man like that. It's sad. And at the end of the day, like he said, we have to vote. We have to stop saying, oh, my vote doesn't count. Our votes do count. But when you put in your mind that your vote doesn't count, that's where we go wrong. Because at the end of the day, all the white people are going to go vote. You see them standing in line with their sticker, I voted today, and they
volunteers and hashtag Dijon Kizzy and to defund the sheriff. Fuck the sheriff. The sheriff controls, who knows how much money the sheriffs have out here? The exact number is 3.3 billion. Imagine what we could do with $3.3 billion that is going to these racist ass pigs that continue to attack black and brown Angelenos. We can create more housing for the homeless. We can create jobs. We can fix our streets. We can create more after-school programs. We can create more community servicing programs. We can feed our people. But instead, they spent $3.3 billion to the fucking sheriff. They spent $3.3 billion to the fucking sheriff to shoot and kill Black and Latino people right here in the city and county of Los Angeles. Shame! Black lives, we matter here.
Black lives, they matter here.
Black lives, we matter here.
Black lives, they matter here.
I'm gonna pass the mic to my sister Tara Cherry, a resident of this community as well.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. You had all these brown speakers in a Black Lives Matter space, sir. I understand. Okay, so thank you. Okay. Thank you. Dijon Kazee, say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Say his name.
Dijon Kazee.
Anthony McLean. Say his name.
Anthony McLean.
Say his name.
Anthony McLean.
Say his name.
Anthony McLean.
AJ Weber. Say his name.
AJ Weber.
Say his name.
AJ Weber.
Say his name.
AJ Weber.
Say his name.
AJ Weber.
This is why we are here. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
This is my son Brandon, and he is 5 years old. I am out here because I refuse to bury my son. We have to commit to doing this work. We have to commit to staying consistent. Where my black people at? Black people to the front. Black people to the front. I want to see my people. We out here fighting for black people. Why don't I see my black people? Get out here. I know we here, but we standing in the back. We need to be up in the front. This is our movement. This is about us. This is about our people. This is about our brothers and our sisters and our fathers out here. A.J. Weber, Anthony McLean, Dijon Kazee, George Floyd. We have to commit to putting a stop to this shit. Because I'm going to be pissed off if I have to be out here for my son in 10 years. This is unacceptable. And they want us to learn to accept this. They talk about the fucking people in the community and people out here protesting. We need no justice, no peace. If there is no justice, you can't sleep. We can be out here dancing, walking through the neighborhood. I'm pissed off. We was out here 2 years ago for A.J. McLean. Now we're out here for Dijon Kazee. I'm pissed off. Stay consistent. Do this work. Don't get comfortable. If you hear the people, if you live over here and you hear the people out here chanting and marching, get your ass up and get your ass out here.
Black lives, they matter 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 here.
I want to introduce the mother of Kenneth Ross Jr., also slain by the LA County Sheriff.
Black Lives Matter, what's up? Los Angeles, what's up? What's going on? I'm out here for the John Kizzy. I want to get justice. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. My son is Kenneth Ross Jr. I'm the mother of Kenneth Ross Jr. My name is Miss Fazia Amaru. He was murdered April 11, 2018 in the city of Gardena. He was shot in his back with an AR-15 military assault weapon. What was my son doing? Nothing but minding his fucking business. And guess what? They murdered him, shot him in cold blood, and had the audacity to fucking handcuff him while he was already dead. They kept the video from me. I didn't get the video for 2 fucking years. So I know about these racist motherfucking white supremacist cops. They ain't shit, and fuck Jackie Lacey. Okay? You think she prosecuted this white supremacist cop that murdered my son?
No.
That murdered 4 other fucking people? No, she didn't. Fuck that bitch. So guess what? After they murdered my son, they kept the video, like I said, and when they kept the video, it came out. They said he was armed and dangerous, and they were scared for his life. Come to find out, Kenneth didn't have no gun. Kenneth wasn't armed and dangerous. They murdered him in cold fucking blood. You know why? Because this bitch Jackie Lacey's gonna let all these motherfuckers get away with it. Because guess what? She's working with these motherfuckers under the table, getting fucking money. She don't give a fuck about nobody. Every night I go home, I ain't got my son. These police, they can go home to their fucking families. They can go home to their children. Now there's another motherfucker out here killing again, and they ain't prosecuted nobody. I'm tired. I've been out here since April 11, 2018. I've been out here a long time. I've been out here protesting. The day that my son got murdered, I was out there that same evening because Creshario Mack got murdered at Crenshaw Mall. I was on Crenshaw and King the same evening.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm tired of the
Okay,
bullshit.
sorry about that.
Jackie
I
Lacey,
didn't
bitch,
notice
you
it.
getting the fuck up out of
Oh,
all this,
sure.
bitch. You must get the fuck up out of here, bitch. Now, the son kids, you mind in this fucking business, you want to murder him? That hits home for me. This hits home. This shit hurts. I can't even sleep at night. You know what's happening? Everybody's getting out here. These white supremacist cops think they get away with it. This bitch Jackie Lacey needs to be fucking prosecuted too. This bitch needs to be fucking accountable for this fucking shit. Okay? I got enough. I've literally had enough. These are my old stomping grounds. Imperial and Budlong, that's where I've been. I grew up in South Central. You know what? Let me tell you something. These sheriffs, they think they got something. Fuck the fucking sheriff. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Okay? Sitting over there like you don't know shit. When you're out here killing motherfuckers every day. I got enough. I'm like I said, I'm the mother of Kenneth Ross Jr. I will get justice for my son. So, okay. Anyway, I'm here to support Black Lives Matter and all my people that have been fucking murdered by the police. Kenneth Ross Jr., say his name!
Kenneth Ross Jr.
Kenneth Ross Jr., say his name!
Kenneth Ross Jr.
Kenneth Ross Jr., say his name!
Kenneth Ross Jr.
I just want to say this is a broad coalition of organizations. This is my husband. We, with Mrs. Sequeria, the auntie of Dijon Kizzy, put this coalition together.
tight speakers list. If everybody could keep it high and tight, 3 minutes. I was over there dealing with what was going on, but I want to let you know who the organizers are. That he and Mr. Query organized this, and please don't be disrespectful and get heated on the mic with folks who try to put this together and work their ass off and walk down these streets and put stuff on there. We're down here in solidarity. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to be disrespected. That's his daughter that got tear gas too. That's my husband.
Thank you.
So his daughter got talked about sheriff. We got every right to be out here and speak our piece. So please don't come and disrespect the organizers. I'm gonna say that out my whole chest. Please.
Thank you.
Don't be disrespectful, man. Don't be disrespectful. What? Don't fuck that shit. Don't fuck that shit.
Okay. Listen up. We have a couple more speakers. We have Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and several families.
Oh, wow. No. Wow.
Hey, we cool? We all cool? We cool? Hey, are we cool? Justice for who?
Kazee.
Justice for who?
Dijon 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 Kazee.
And what do we want?
Justice.
When do we want them?
Now.
And what do we want?
Murder charges.
When do we want them?
Now.
And what do we want?
Murder charges.
When do we want them?
Now.
And justice for who?
Dijon Kazee.
What's his name?
Dijon Kazee.
Justice for who?
Dijon Kazee.
What's his name?
Dijon Kazee.
Okay, we want to bring up Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. We cool?
If you can hear me, is the mic on? Is the mic on?
Black Lives Matter here.
Black Lives Matter here.
Black lives matter. All lives matter. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody with a Black Lives Matter shirt, look at your shirt.
Black lives matter. All lives don't matter.
We already know that.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Listen to what I'm saying. Look at the word Black Lives. Look what it says. It says Black Lives Matter. Look at your shirt. It also says I matter. Black Lives Matter says I matter. Look at my shirt. Black Lives Matter says I matter. Black Lives says I matter. Black Lives, let's just stop it. We don't have no bad guys here. Nobody.
Allow your space to be co-opted. This is why.
Listen up, listen up, listen up.